Coming off a really good rookie season, Will Anderson's trying to go from really good to great. We know about the Texans' investment in Anderson. There's actually talk about whether or not the Texans would take him or C.J. Stroud, number 2 overall. They went with C.J. They made the trade for Will Anderson. Regardless of where you sit, I don't think they regret it. They seem very, very pleased with him, and he seems to be emerging as one of the culture guys and pivotal pieces of this organization during the most exciting time in franchise history. It is the Locker Room, #1 source for Texans digital content. I am Landry Locker. Be sure to subscribe, ride the video. Got you covered live on the scene at training camp. Let's hear from Will Anderson. He's bulked up. He's spiritual. He's coming off doing some important commercials, and he has a lot to say about the state of the Houston Texans. Let's hear from Will Anderson, as well as someone that could help Will Anderson to make his job even easier, Danielle Hunter. My gosh, that dude is absolutely jacked too. By the way, local guy, and he seems to be about that business. Let's hear from Will Anderson first, though. This was Will Anderson addressing the media, a bulked up Will Anderson at training camp.
Last year, I was like 248, and about the time we got to like the Ravens game, I was just like, I just can't last. Like, I feel like I was getting tossed around, so I kind of bulked up a little this offseason, tried to keep my speed. Well, I did keep my speed. So I'm like 263 now. I feel good. Some people still say I don't even look big, so I appreciate you for that.
Yeah, and I would say that those some people are probably this guy right here who we'll hear from in a sec, Danielle Hunter. Yeah, you can look a little bit jacked, but yeah, I would say Danielle
more
Hunter's
of
the one
a
saying
pass rush
that. Here's
plan
more
and
from
things
Will
that
Anderson.
you have at your disposal. Where do you feel like you're better specifically? Where do you feel like you're better specifically in terms of finishing and having a pass rush plan, just repertoire?
Yeah, for me, I feel like that's the area I'm still working on right now. Me and Coach Burke was actually just talking, and I think that's one thing that I'm continuing to keep getting better at. It's just working on my finish and working on my extension at the top of my rush and turning that corner. That's something this whole offseason I've been working on, and I'm excited to just keep seeing the progress and just keep building that 1% each day.
The sacks are going to be interesting. I want to ask this question here in the locker room. How many sacks will Will Anderson have? I think it's double digits for sure. I'm going to go with above 13. Over, under 13, I will take the over. He's got Danielle Hunter opposite him, a.k.a. Popeye with the big biceps. I'm going to go over 13. What say you? Here's more from Will Anderson.
What's different about you in year 2? You know, you're not a rookie anymore. You got to come in and do all the offseason. What's different for you, and how's it feel?
Yeah, I feel like my focus is just less on what everybody has to say and more on God. I think my biggest thing is knowing that, like I always tell y'all, like my approval comes from Him. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, everything that I achieve in His lifetime, I'm putting Him first for it because He's the reason why I'm here. And I think that's the difference. Like this year, man, I'm like, God, whether it's a good game, bad game, anything, like you're going to get the praise and glory for it. Like I'm going to let you use me however you want to use me each game. And I just want to be a servant, be a leader, and be a blessing to my teammates and help them out in any type of way. So that's my whole thing coming into this year, man, is like, God, however you want to use me, I just want to be a blessing to this team.
Well, I got a chance to talk to how did you come to that epiphany?
Good follow-up, DJ.
I just want to focus on, not what everybody else is saying, but just focus on what God has for you.
Yeah, I think it's just a maturity, man, and just diving deeper into the Word and spending this off season, you know, more in church and more in the Bible and learning myself more and just seeing, like, how the outside world is and learning, like, bro, like, and once you get to that spiritual level, I think it's like, bro, like, God is your ultimate goal. Like, He's the one that wakes you up in the morning. Like, some person in somebody's basement don't wake you up in the morning. Like, their opinion doesn't matter. So my thing is, like, I want to put all my focus there and let God handle the rest.
Well, your high school coach said that if somebody wanted to motivate you to just tell you something that you can't do,
yeah,
and then you'll go out there,
yeah,
and you'll get it done. They also told me that even during like the spring break, summer break, that you would call them and say, "Well, what are you doing? Can you come?
Yeah,
we'll do one-on-one drills." How do you keep that type of motivation going into year 2?
For me, I always feel like it's somebody trying to take my position, and it's somebody always behind me that's just like trying to come get what I want. So like, I always want to stay.
Your position's safe, my friend.
On edge, I always want to stay in front. I always want to stay up to date with like whatever I got going on, man. And that was my whole mindset, and that's my mindset now. Is like, how can I continue to get better? What am I doing to set myself apart from the rest of the competition? And that's just been my mindset the whole time.
D'Amico's talked a lot about confidence after guys have got a year under their belt.
Yeah.
Is there a part of your game that you're more confident in this year than maybe a year ago you were?
Yeah, I would just say within the system, man, like not reading, not thinking, and just going and just being free and just playing my freest. And I think this OTA and going into this training camp, I kind of feel that, like, I'm more free. I know the system. I know what I can do. I know what I can't do. But I know I can be myself within the system.
Away from the field, Will, how important was it for you to be able to have your first annual football camp and to give back to Southeast Georgia like that?
Yeah, it was really important. Like, in Georgia, like, it's not that many camps down in the South. It's always going up north. I know when I was younger, going to Georgia 400, an hour away, $45 camp. And I was like, man, like, I want to go back to my community where it all started, have a free camp for those kids because they deserve it, man. It's a lot of talent down there. And I just want to show them that anything is possible. And the biggest goal is just always giving back to your community and helping the younger generation.
Well, what have you been learning from Danielle Hunter, and what's the relationship like that you've already started?
Yeah, man, I've been learning a lot from him. He's been great. I commend him a lot just by the way he works with his hands. He does a really good job, and that's everything that he tries to do for us. Like, we do a lot of hand work, it's like karate a little bit, but like, he's so good with his hands, and he's been teaching me that a lot.
How were the acting skills, HEB commercials? How was your acting?
You gotta have to ask CJ that. Mine wasn't as good as his, man.
How do you have to do multiple takes or anything like that?
Multiple takes. We was there from like 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., man. No, I'm just playing. 7.
Yeah, I don't think they realize how big of a deal these HEB commercials are. I don't think they understand. They don't appreciate it. But I am intrigued to see how they look. I'm glad that the Texans have good enough players to actually do it. Toro's getting less airtime, although I've heard that he will be in the commercials as well.
Like Cobra Kai, right?
Yeah, like Cobra Kai, man.
Well, I know in part of your family, you always talk about, your sisters. And I know you had one sister that's really critical on your play and everything. And you talked about how you ended the season and how you got tossed around. Did she reach you to ride at the end of the year?
No, they cut me some slack because they knew I was hurt towards the end.
Yeah.
So they cut me a little bit of slack, but believe they've been on me this offseason. They've been on me. I had to wake up early every morning just to get away from them, man. They're like, when you gonna go work out? When you gonna go do this? And I said, can I just do my schedule? Can I have my schedule? But I love my family to death, and that's why I appreciate them so much, because not only do I push myself, but they push me as well.
Is there an area that you think this team has really improved on since last year?
Yeah, I would just say the bonding and keep coming together, man. I think are further ahead of that than we were last year. Like, even with all the new additions, it just feels like we've been together for a while now. With everybody that's been here, or all the new guys, it just seems like we've been playing together for about a year or two now, and it just shows like the type of guys that we have in this building.
Well, in what ways do you feel like you improved this offseason?
Yeah, man, I think my biggest thing, I just want to get bigger, stronger, faster. And I think those are the areas that I really improved on, and have more mobility and flexibility to be able to get in some of the positions, to bend a little better, to get off blocks a little better, and to use my hands a little better. So those are all the areas that I feel like I've been taking the necessary steps to, continue to keep improving.
We know that you are a leader on the field, but what did you do off the field in order to have a better presence in the locker room?
Yeah, man, a lot of self-evaluation. And just building my confidence and not being scared to say stuff sometimes, and being more calm, and being able to talk and stuff like that, and being able to let my passion come out, but reel back on my passion a little bit, and just be more relaxed and calm about it.
Last one for DJ.
How do you feel like you guys as a team are handling the expectations? The people who think you guys can do really good things, how do you think you guys are handling the outside noise?
Yeah, Coach hit it on the head yesterday, man, and I know just from the players, man, the expectation is always going to be the expectation. Nobody on the outside is going to have a bigger expectation than on the inside of the building. And right now, our expectation is just building that building a tall building, man. But it starts with our foundation of coming out here, getting 1% better, everybody keeping their head down and just working.
Thanks, Will.
Thank you. I got you.
Oh, yeah.
It's culture guy right there, Will Anderson. It's going to be exciting to see this young man develop, because I think, I was asked, who's going to make the biggest leap. I think that's the easy answer. Because we've seen Will Anderson play really, really well. The crazy thing is he does the small things well, and that's sometimes one of the more difficult things for even really talented guys to do. You also see he puts on 15 pounds, so he doesn't. Last year was not good enough for Will Anderson. I don't think you have to worry about him. And furthermore, opposite of Will Anderson, you have a guy in Danielle Hunter who I'm assuming that when Will Anderson said some people are saying I'm still small, it has to be Danielle Hunter, because look at this guy. This is a very massive human being. Here is Danielle Hunter. I thought this was one of the most entertaining back and forth at camp. It started with Cody Stutes. I think Adam Wexler got in there as well. But this guy is all business. There's a lot of personality, a lot of kids on this team, a lot of youngsters that are still learning. Danielle Hunter's kind of that veteran presence, all business. I think so far in camp, couple days in, few days in, 1 weekend, however you want to put it, this was the best interaction. And this guy, one of the best pass rushers in the NFL, is going to be opposite Will Anderson. He's about that business, and he likes where he's at.
One man don't get a sack by himself. It's 4 men together rushing the passer.
In the spring, Matt Burke mentioned that the team thought maybe you could be even better from a pass rush standpoint in this style of defense. Do you feel the same way? What's kind of been your previous experience with any style or any kind of defense like what the Texans are running?
I mean, in the past, I came from just a reading defense. They really don't want me to read. They just want me to go here. So,
Okay.
Get at it.
You like that more?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have to think about anything. I just go. And I feel like I've been reading for about 8-9 years, and I feel like they want me to not do that and just go. Play football. Don't think about nothing else.
Form.
Every defensive lineman want that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what you want. Playing a defensive end, you just want to go. No reading, none of that. You just go. So.
All right, there you go. That's Danielle Hunter about that business. He didn't say swarm, though. Oh, well, we'll say it for him. That's Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson, one of the best edge duos in the league, no matter how you look at it. What will Will Anderson do if he takes that next step? Danielle Hunter stays at where he's at. This guy is the limit. How many sacks will Will Anderson have? I'm taking the over 13. I'm damn sure taking double digits, and I can't wait to watch these guys play, watch him continue to mature, and just watch the balance between the innocence yet maturity of Will Anderson and the all-business approach from Danielle Hunter. This has been another edition of The Locker Room on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, like, ride along. Check out all the camp observations as well as all the other content going along. Be ready to ride this thing out. We've been doing it for less than 2 years. Be ready to ride this thing out with myself and Cody Stutes. The digital game is evolving. The Texans digital game is evolving, and this is the best place to come get that digital coverage when it comes to the Texans. Always remember, no matter how many sacks, no matter whether you have an all business or more of a loose approach when it comes to this Texan stuff, we're all in it together. Thanks for coming through.
Yeah. It's The Locker Room on YouTube. You know what it is. Let's get it. Hey, Locker Room. Yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk. Yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize every